Looking back on the last 3 episodes of this show, I've noticed a very consistent trend. The first episode focused on introducing the Energems and the conflict between Master Sledge and Keeper, as well as characterizing Tyler and Shelby. The second episode focused on the team coming together, as well as characterizing Riley, and the third episode focused on the Rangers meeting Sledge for the first time, introducing Dino Steel as well as the Megazord, while also giving the Rangers a good deal of character interactions. So in every episode so far, the show has managed to give us all the Power Rangers backstory and power-ups we should expect at this point, while also putting a great deal of focus on characterization. And based on the title of this episode, this trend doesn't look like it's going anywhere, so let's go ahead and talk about it so we can see how much this episode follows the trend. This is episode 4, Return of the Caveman. The episode opens 100,000 years ago, where Koda finds the blue Energem while chipping at his cave wall. Koda then hears a saber-toothed tiger outside, as well as his brother Tagu's screams, so Koda goes outside and climbs a cliff to tackle the beast as it lunges at his brother. However, this causes both the saber-tooth and Koda to fall off the cliff, and as Koda falls, the blue Energem bonds to him. Tagu calls out to his brother when Koda suddenly wakes up in present day, making the whole thing a dream. Koda hears the sound of a motor and leaves his cave to find Miss Morgan introducing the others to their new Dino cycles. Chase explains to Koda what the cycle can do before revving up the engine, which startles Koda enough to try and attack the cycle. The others tell Koda to calm down, so Koda apologizes, but Shelby says his fear is understandable since he's from a different time. Shelby's phone suddenly rings, so Koda smashes it with his stick, and after apologizing to Shelby, Miss Morgan tells the others that while Koda has gotten used to morphing, some modern things still make him nervous. Chase says he'll teach Koda how to ride the Dino cycle since he's had so much riding experience, before we cut to space where Fury introduces a new monster to Sledge. Sledge asks what the monster can do, and whoa, that guy's intense! Fury says the monster's name is Slammer and that he can capture the Rangers in his cages, so Sledge tells Slammer not to disappoint him before kicking him into an escape pod and sending him down to Earth. Poisandra says they should forget about the Energem since she's bored, but Sledge says he got her a present and asks Wretch to introduce a monster he made for Poisandra called Curio. Poisandra and Curio run off to have fun, so Sledge tells Fury that Slammer's cages better work before we cut back to Chase teaching Koda how to ride a bike. Koda ends up falling off the bike, so the two take a rest at a park bench where Chase tells Koda not to worry since it takes time to learn how to ride a bike. Koda says it's not just the bike that he's not used to, and after listing a few things, Chase says this world must be pretty strange to Koda. However, Chase goes on to say that right now Koda has nothing to worry about except looking good for the ladies, and as the two say hi to some passing girls, sprinklers go off, causing Koda to fall over the bench in fear. Chase helps Koda up and tells him to relax, but Koda questions why the blue Energem would choose a caveman. Suddenly, Koda sees one of Slammer's cages heading right for them, so he tells Chase to duck as he jumps out of the way, but Chase doesn't react fast enough and gets captured, telling Koda the monster is right behind him before disappearing. Koda sees Slammer as he tries to throw another cage at him, but Koda kicks it away before grabbing a nearby shovel and attacking the monster. However, even though Koda tries his hardest, Slammer is able to knock him back and tries throwing another cage at him. Seeing that the cage is going to land on a passing boy on a bike, Koda grabs the boy to protect him, but the cage lands on both of them before they are teleported into a cave with Chase. Chase says he tried to morph but can't as Koda tries to break out of the cage, and Chase asks about the boy. Koda checks on the boy, who says his leg might be broken, before Chase tells Koda that the cage landed on the bike. Koda removes the bike, leaving a hole big enough for him and the boy to escape, and once they do, Koda is able to make a torch asking the boy what his name is, and the boy says his name is Peter. Koda hands Peter the torch so he can wrap up Peter's leg, and after he does so, Koda uses the torch to find the direction of the cave's entrance. Koda then picks up Peter and tells Chase he'll be back when he gets Peter out of the cave. At the restaurant, Miss Morgan tells the others that Chase and Koda are late and not answering their dino comms, so she tells Tyler and Riley to look for them on their dino cycles since their scanners will allow them to cover more ground. Back in the cave, Koda tells Peter that he had a little brother like Peter, promising that he will protect him like he did his brother, before carrying Peter on his back and continuing to try and leave the cave. Slammer notices that Koda has escaped, saying Koda is more clever than he thought, so he goes off to find Koda.
2 paths?
Which way?
I not know.
Here. Take it. The phone signal is too weak, but the GPS map may work. Now that arrow is us, okay?
Huh.
After splitting up, Tyler is able to find a magnetic field surrounding the cave that Miss Morgan and Shelby say must be stopping Chase and Koda from communicating or morphing, so Miss Morgan sends Riley the coordinates of the cave before she and Shelby head to the cave as well. Using Peter's GPS, Koda is able to find the exit to the cave with Slammer right on their tail, while at the same time, Tyler and the others arrive at the cave. The group sees Koda running out of the cave while carrying Peter, who he hands to Miss Morgan, saying Peter needs a doctor. Miss Morgan takes Peter to the hospital as the others ask about Chase, and Koda says Chase is still trapped in the mountain before Slammer shows up. Slammer throws a cage at the Rangers, but Koda is able to catch it and toss it away before deciding,
It's morphing time! Dino Charger, ready! Energize! Ha! Unleash the power! Power Rangers, charge! Tyrannosaurus Rex! Power Ranger, red! Yeah! Huh. Stegosaurus! Power Ranger, blue! Ha! Ha! Velociraptor! Power Ranger, green! Ha!
Ha! Triceratops! Power Ranger, pink! Ha!
Dinosaur might, ready to fight! Power Rangers, Dino Charge!
oh yeah, now it's on. Slammer orders some Viveks to attack, so the Rangers begin fighting, with Koda and Shelby taking on the Viveks as Tyler and Riley fight Slammer. Using the Dino Cycles as well as their weapons, Tyler and Riley are able to take down Slammer, so the team decides to go find Chase, but the cave entrance is suddenly blocked by a giant Slammer. Tyler, Koda, and Shelby then form the Tristego formation of the Dino Charge Megazord, with Tyler telling Riley to summon his Raptor Zord as they hold Slammer. Riley's Raptor Zord strikes Slammer down before it combines with the T-Rex Zord and the Stegozord to form the Stego-Raptor formation of the Dino Charge Megazord. Shelby orders the Tricerazord to find Chase while the Rangers fight the monster, and once the Tricerazord gets Chase from the cave, the others use the new Megazord's power to take down Slammer. After the fight, the Rangers go to the park where they find Peter telling some other kids what happened in the cave. Once the other kids leave, Koda tells Peter that he got him a new bike, and Peter asks Koda if he knows how to ride a bike since Peter noticed him struggling in the park earlier. Koda says it's a bit scary, but Peter says he could teach him how to ride a bike, promising to protect him, and the episode ends with Koda riding the bike at the park with Peter giving him some encouragement. This episode not only seems to continue the trend of characterization set up by the last 3 episodes, but in comparison to those episodes, this episode is the only one that fully focuses on a certain character. While the last 3 episodes had a good deal of focus put on the characters, that focus was always secondary to all the typical Power Rangers setups. Tyler and Shelby in the first episode were secondary to the backstory of the Energems, Riley in the second episode was not as important as the team coming together, and while I like the character interactions in the last episode, even those interactions were sometimes overshadowed by the introduction of Dino Steel in the Megazord. But this episode is allowed to fully focus on Koda as a caveman adapting to the modern world, making the episode undoubtedly his, and because of that, this is my favorite episode of the season so far. Thematically, the episode uses Koda's personal struggle as a way to represent the idea that everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, but the scene where Koda uses Peter's GPS to find a way out of the cave demonstrates that it is important to recognize your weaknesses so you can overcome them. However, the episode doesn't just put Koda through an arc so he can be worthy of his Energem at the end, but instead uses the comparison of how Koda acts in both the past and present to show what kind of person he is. Koda might not be the smartest of the Rangers, but he knows how to survive and is very protective of the people he cares about. And because I saw how hard Koda was fighting to protect the other Rangers as well as Peter, it made me love the action sequences in this episode even more. We are also introduced to the Raptor Zord in this episode, which, along with the theme, made that fight really great to watch. As a side note, I really like the bond that Koda and Peter share, and because of how much the episode focuses on it, plus the comparison between Koda's brother and Peter, I don't think this is the last time we'll see him. Overall, I really loved this episode. It was nice to see the show go all the way in painting Koda as a character, and it ultimately elevated everything that the episode had to offer, and while it does have some cheesy moments here and there, I still highly recommend it, and am looking forward to what the show will do next. I'm Nick, aka IronBat1993, and may the power protect you.